Excuse me, sir. It's Friday. Good morning.
Friday. You might think that I'm a little bit lazy because I had a very long, hard night with a lot of champagne in Vilnius last evening. No, of course. It's Champagne Hiking Friday. We're supposed to go out, but okay, let's do a proper indoor Champagne Friday hiking. So I am in this beautiful suite at Palais Hotel in Vilnius. One of the best European hotels I ever been to. And you saw the bed is so nice. I'm going to make a small interview with one of my best friends and one of the best champagne tasters in the world. Well, you know where I am, but of course, if I am in Vilnius, in Lithuania, I need to be together with this guy. This is Andrius, Smaliukas, and you can see by his shirt, Champion de Champagne.
Champion de Champagne.
Yeah, or Champion de Champagne. You're here because you're such a great taster, but not only that, he's actually the leading guy from the champagne hiking community of Lithuania. It's a small country, but they have a very, very strong, one of the strongest fan clubs of Champagne Club in the world. And it's all started a little bit with me, but very much with me.
Very much with you.
Andrius, please tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your community in the Champagne Club.
Oh, Rickard, very nicely put. Thank you so much. So we are great friends with you for already a number of years, and my interest in champagne started like almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
When my wife, she actually bought a book of yours. At the time it was 4,000 champagne, just released, and she said, Andrius, I think you need to find a meaningful hobby for the two of us to enjoy.
He's working so much as a lawyer on the very highest level, so yes, hobby was welcome.
Welcome. So I read the book, and you have an amazing photographic memory for smell, and I have quite a good memory in general. So I read your book and I loved your style, and what I was impressed about, that different from the rest of the field of experts in wine in general and champagne in particular, you spoke about the senses. You spoke of smelling, feeling. What is the difference between terroirs as far as what you can smell and taste? No one else was doing that at the time, and actually no one else is doing No one else is doing that right now.
No.
So I thought, wow, this guy is really exceptional, and I need to meet him. And Stockholm is just on the other side of the Baltic Sea from us, and then I had a lot of business that I was flying to Stockholm.
Yeah.
And so I flew into the Champagne Club, Champagne Bar.
Yeah.
I just popped in just like that, and I met you at the bar.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. And then we began, to come to Champagne together. I joined your group, VIP group, and I began to learn from you, from your tasting notes, basically.
But it's amazing because he, without tasting a special champagne, he could find notes and saying, well, Rickard actually wrote this and this, so it might be.
Yeah, that's my story. That's exactly my story.
Yeah,
I first read all your tasting notes. They are like therapy, by the way, for me. I still read them. I reread them, especially if I am depressed or stressed before sleep.
Okay.
After 15 minutes, I fall asleep and sleep like a baby. So I can really recommend that. Wow. People must try it. For me, it's very effective. It has been effective for almost 20 years.
I've been watching Midsummer Murders, and I love it. But then I listen to the music, and my eyes go down, and then I fall asleep. That's my therapy. What we're going to do here today, we've actually planned to make an outdoor champagne hiking because, I speak about this champagne hiking all the time, and I know that there are so many people asking questions and are so interested, but we have too few people entering and doing their hikes and download in the app.
Exactly.
I think you're number 3 now in the scoring leaderboard. I'm still the number 1, and Björn Stjärne is number 2. Getting very close, so I'm a little bit afraid. I need to taste some more champagne. I'm a little bit slow right now. But anyway, we should be outdoors, but it's raining now. We hope for a hiking in the afternoon.
Yeah, we'll do that.
But here we have indoor hiking now early in the morning in Vilnius on a Friday. And we brought 3 bottles from the same producer. 1864, they were created, Alfred Gratien. The winemaker Nicolas Jäger is son of Jean-Pierre, who was winemaker for many years, whom I met many times when I started with champagne. And I would say Alfred Gratien for me is one of the most forgotten great names. Because historically it's like this. Well, in the 60s, when almost everybody was stopping using oak barrels, there were 3 houses keeping that, but the other 2 are more famous. But what they did, both of them in separate steps, was that for the non-vintage, for Krug Grand Cuvée, and especially Bollinger Special Cuvée, they were made in stainless steel, predominantly with just a little hint of oak. But while Alfred Gratien was the only house sticking to oak barrels all the time.
And sticking to non-malo, right, as well?
Non-malolactic.
Yeah,
taking so long time. Yeah. Today, oak barrels, 1-year-old oak barrels from Chablis, that's not been the case. That when I came early on, there were more 30-year-old barrels and things like that. But when you have Krug-like aromas, and you don't know where it is, and you go a little bit, it could be in Lanson early on, more the older vintages. It could have been a Piper Heights, say, because of the non-malo, but they are turning more toasted. If you get this kind of oaky sensation of when you're wrong with those 2,
it could be Gratien.
It is Gratien.
Yeah.
It is Gratien. If we end up there. So. What's your relationship with Gratien?
So I became a fan, basically again reading from very early on what you read about them. You said it's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
They age very beautifully because it's oak, it's non-malo, it's the style which needs age. And what I love about champagne, again I learned from you, is the magic of time.
Yeah.
It's a magic of time, and Alfred Gratien needs time, and with time, with 20, 30 years in the bottle, they're amazing. They open up, they open the peacock tail.
Yeah.
Beautiful champagnes for aging. Yeah. But probably one of the reasons why their fan base is not that big, that they are difficult to approach while young.
Yeah, they are.
They are quite aggressive, quite acidic. Many people don't understand it. They are not that hedonistic.
And for me, it sounds like a commercial for Alfred Gratien here, even before we start to taste them. But if I put one small criticism, it is that the grapes are not really on the same high level as Krug or Boulanger.
Yeah, that's true.
The vinification is as great as. But slightly less high quality Pinot Meunier in many of the blends, especially in the vintage, but also lacking a little bit of the older vines that you will obtain in those 2 5-star producers. For me, this is a 4-star producer. Yeah. Let's start tasting. We start with the 15 Blanc de Blanc. I do my round first. I will say that the Blanc de Blanc is quite a new thing in the vintage category from them, despite the fact that the best champagne ever, the 55, was a Blanc de Blanc.
Yeah, I remember. And it finished the Millennium tasting at a very, very high place, right?
Yeah, it's really a legend. But doing like this, they haven't done it for many years. But this proves as well, because this is 15, and 15 is a rather round, rich vintage. But this one is shy. It's very shy. It's far too early to drink. I will have a big gap between my points. It's not set yet. You will see that if you download the app. Definitely the least interesting because we pre-tasted them.
Yeah.
And the winner is hidden Cuvée Prestige, Cuvée Paradis, 30, not the greatest of vintages. Pureness, elegance, but always a little bit short in aftertaste and in concentration. That's not the case here. It's tremendously toasted. It's super rich with a high acidity. Also some beginning of some nuttiness, which is more on the hazelnutty side. Krug-like perfume, definitely. %80 Chardonnay, but those 20% of Pinot Noir, and 2 years more aging, is doing the trick. This one you can drink now with great pleasure. For me, it's very linked to the sea. Shellfish, sorry, allergic. But if you can eat that and different fish dishes, that's the way to go. The Rosé, 07, the year when Nicolas took over, I think.
From his father, 2007.
And the Rosé with a very pale color. In comparison, very shy as well. Very, very young. Beautiful, sublime notes. Where's Andrius' glasses? Where are the glasses?
Someone stole them.
Oh, let's go.
There's a competition.
Okay. So now it's your turn.
Yeah, beautiful baby. The lily of the valley, all those very lovely spring aromas. And I feel myself as if I'm walking in the mountains, and it's a mountain stream, but very shy.
Very shy.
Bold.
Yeah.
Same impressions in the mouth.
Yeah.
Very clean, very elegant, very promising.
Did you see his techniques? Learn from me.
From you.
Stereo effect, both nostrils working.
From the master.
Full concentration despite the camera rolling.
Paradis is already very approachable.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. Surprisingly so.
But I think I had this 6 months ago or something like that, and it's a huge development and more layers, and this Krug-like perfume is
same impression in the mouth.
Yeah.
Very concentrated. The aftertaste is long, very precise. Lots of already gunpowder aromas.
Yeah.
Sort of, Krugish with a little bit of barley as well, if you might say. But yeah, they're very solid wine.
Sharper in acidity than a Bonnachet for me. So more Krug, but of course there are similarities.
Rosé probably least interesting at the moment.
Yeah.
Very much acidic, so the non-malo is really very much expressed. But people, and in our fan club, we have, this acidity freaks.
Yeah.
People who love acidity, in principle, love acid, which is very well integrated. So this is the wine for acid-loving friends at the moment, but I think it will age beautifully, the Rosé.
Yeah.
Of course, 07 is a tricky vintage.
But it's one of the better ones.
Exactly. One of the better examples of 207 in Champagne is this Paradis Rosé.
So, friends, we can go on forever, just tasting, discussing champagnes, but what we're going to do is we're going to have a small break, and then we make a new champagne hiking outdoors later on in this beautiful city.